Welcome back to New Wave Therapy. Bob Burdekin here, and today we're going to cover a few topics on items that have been actually requested for by the people that have been watching our videos. First, we're going to go over why we created the program. Then we're going to go over why we chose the light we did and why we chose LED lights over laser lights. Then we're also going to start to explain how the lights work and the specific modes and what kind of results you can receive from them. Anyway, let's get started. First of all, we started the program 4 years ago. We started in the horse industry. We've been doing work light therapy with horses for 4 years. We took a program that was basically designed for people and converted it for using with horses. We did that because we knew, with my past experience of being over 50 years in the horse industry, of maintaining and taking care of horses, that horses don't lie. You give them a program and it's either going to work or it's not. There's never a placebo effect, and they will not tell you anything but the truth. So that's why we went the way we did. So now we're starting to get a lot of people that want to see the same results in their situations that we've shown in horses. So that's what this is about. Now, the reason we chose LEDs over laser lights is, first of all, they're more efficient and use less energy, and much more, hardly anything is wasted as a heat factor. They have a long-lasting bulb. They're guaranteed for 10,000 hours. They have more specific wavelengths available than other light sources, and they don't heat the skin or denature target enzymes. They're very well studied. There's been over 4,000 worldwide studies in both research centers and university level programs that have proven that there's basically no side effects from red light therapy. So now you know why we chose LED lights. Now you need to know why we chose the specific light we did. We chose it basically because the brightness that it's rated at is the correct level to work evenly and correctly. Now, brightness equals session strength, and session strength equals results. The light we chose is also very effective in increasing blood flow. It aids in pain management. It helps to accelerate the wound healing and lessen the pain process or pain cycle. The new research has shown that it helps to improve collagen production. And because of all this, this has become our most popular unit. Moving on to explaining the 5 settings and the job that they do, we'll start with the low setting. Now, the low setting, it's right here. Let's say this is the low setting. It penetrates to the first layer of skin. This is your protective layer, and this is the first layer of skin. Again, less penetration, less power, less light. So that's why the low setting is set the way it is. And now we also found that it helps to control minor surface burns. The kind of burns you get in the kitchen or working around a hot engine, even minor cuts. And we have found from our own personal experience that if you get a minor burn from, say, cooking in the kitchen, and you get that red light on it right away, the pain diminishes almost immediately. And in fact, if it's done fast enough, you won't even have a blister. We've seen situations where there have been no blisters on a kitchen burn. Now, we found with this low setting, it also helps with acne scars, rosacea. Psoriasis has also been a favorable recipient of red light therapy. And even athletes' foot problems have been seen great relief. That's just to name a few. Now, the next setting on our light device is the medium setting, and it's used to penetrate slightly deeper into the second layer of skin. So you have your medium setting, it goes through your upper protective layer, your first layer, and into your second layer or your dermis layer of the skin. And the conditions that you would look to work with at this setting are the same as the low settings. And the only difference is you'd use the setting to obtain deeper penetration of the light energy. Moving on to the high setting, which goes into the third layer of the skin and helps many different conditions. So what we're looking at is the high setting here going through the initial protective layer, the first layer, the second layer, and into the third layer of skin. Now, many of these different conditions are muscle-related soreness, strains and sprains, muscle spasms, inflammation, minor nerve damage, neck pain and stiffness, which will actually bring us now to the initial pulse setting. So now we're going to talk about the initial pulsing setting. And this starts what we refer to as a thermal relaxation period. And just like the other situations, we have a pulse setting that goes through your protective layer, your first layer, your second layer, and down into the third layer. But it acts somewhat differently. In fact, it starts what's referred to as the thermal relaxation period, and which is best described as a time that the light shuts itself off and then back on. And when the light beam is off, it's called the pulse delay. The pulse delay allows the area being treated to momentarily relax, allowing the tissues to cool in between the pulses. During the pulsing period, the light is able to penetrate even deeper, and this then allows for more blood to be drawn to that specific area. And the conditions that are best suited for the use of this setting are the same ones that I referred to in the high mode. Again, the initial pulse setting is to be used when you feel that deeper penetration of the skin by the light energy over that of just a solid light setting. This brings us to the fifth and final setting on our red light therapy device. And it's the second pulse setting, and it's also referred to as a thermal relaxation period. It's similar to the previous setting, except that the delay is longer and the time between pulses varies at different rates on a program time. The differences here is that the intermediate pulsing allows the tissues being subjected to the light energy, has a longer period to cool, and will then allow much more blood to be drawn to that specific area. Now, doing it this way will allow for a much more precise targeting of deep-seated problems. Once again, the problems that relate to the setting are the ones that are mentioned in the high setting concepts. In closing, I want to inform you that red light therapy operates what is known as a biphasic dose response. Now what that means, a shorter use time is much more effective than a longer use time. In fact, a longer use time can have the possibility of totally canceling out any short period of session you may have done. And the reason why this is not fully known, but they believe it has something to do with possibly involving the heating of the skin cells, or even producing too much nitric oxide during the session. And consequently, it opens up the vessels for the vessels too much and allows too much blood flow into the area to do a specific job that you want to do. Another point that I was asked about was that they want to know what happens if you quickly double-click the on and off button. Well, you'll most likely jump over one or two of the settings without even realizing it. It's not a big problem. You just need to slow down, go through the buttons more slowly, and it'll work just fine. Anyway, that's what I wanted to cover today. I hope that it answers a lot of questions for people, and I do hope that you'll return. And once again, thanks for coming by.